glad I can't hear that theme. It sucks. It was a sort of... I did!
One day I'll learn how to do video editing and stuff.
I even I even dubbed the intro video with that theme, and I gave it to you.
Did you?
Years ago. Years ago, yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, we got a fun one. Can we just... Do we have to officially use the YouTube thing where we support women's reproductive rights? That's what they call murdering little babies.
Yeah.
So
I did call the episode "I'm Sure We'll Think of Something," and who boy did we think of something?
Yeah. So you see, we here at YouTube officially support women's right to reproductively murder their little babies.
It's reproductive health, Hobbit.
Yes, reproductive murder of the little babies.
It's just a cells, bro.
Yeah, and it's. I think somebody said that.
You don't know what a clump of cells is, bro.
I think somebody said that when there was like trillions wiped out of a bank account or something. It's like, oh, it's just a clump of numbers.
No, it was to do with the. We said we weren't going to talk about it, but obviously we are. The Afghan thing, isn't it? It's just somebody typed it in a number, bro. Typed it on a computer, bro. No,
there was something else. Somebody was referring. Maybe it was
related to that as well. So obviously it's a common theme.
Maybe it was October the 7th, where someone said, "Oh, well, it's just a clump of cells at a music festival."
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of cells, bro. It's just a clump of notes. It's just a clump of melodies.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny how people say, that it's just a. It's almost to sort of dismiss out of hand, like it's not significant, like it's not a little baby that the mother's murdered.
So, at what stage does it go from a clump of cells to a baby? Literally, only when it comes out of the vagina. Until then, it's Schrodinger's clump of cells.
Or if it's an illegal and they're getting deported and they talk about the unborn child, and it's like, oh, what? So you do recognise it as an unborn child?
Yeah.
Funny that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because there was something about a Mexican woman lost her baby in Alligator Alcatraz or something.
No, we have to use the politically correct term, Abina, or is it Taco Bender? It's one or the other.
Abina with Abina, a baby having
Abina wetback taco. We call it a pregnant taco bending wetback.
Yeah.
There we go. We are going to be very culturally sensitive in this episode because he number one. You see, we got a real humdinger of a show, and we're going to be talking about black excellence in medical practice. Now, there's a term you didn't think you'd be hearing from me today.
Let's put the kindly old gentleman's face up, shall we? Look, see that kindly old gentleman there? Look at him. Look.
I heard, right, you know Martin Luther King? That this is the Harold Shipman.
Probably going a bit too far, Hobbit.
What did I say?
This is the C word.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. No.
That's probably going a bit too far.
This is the Harold Shipman of them. Themans.
I think even Harold Shipman would go, look, bro, I think this is a bit too far. This is a bit much.
Harold Shipman's like, at least wait for them to ripen before you viciously murder them.
We're only laughing because otherwise we'd be crying. Let's talk about this kindly old gentleman, old Uncle Ruckus. Kermit.
Hey, don't you besmirch Uncle Ruckus with this? Uncle Ruckus is an all right bloke. This guy is not.
Kermit Baron Gosnell, born February the 9th, 1941, is an American serial killer and former abortion doctor. He provided illegal late-term abortions at his clinic in West Philadelphia. Gosnell was convicted...
What's the difference between a legal baby murder and illegal baby murder?
I would say generally you don't know what's going on, but it didn't work in this case.
Hypothetically, I was going to say,
Yeah.
hypothetically, if I wanted to murder little babies, how would I do it legally?
Generally, you put a white gown on and go, "I'm a doctor," but it didn't work. Wait, he's not Doctor Kermit Baron Gosnell, though, is he?
No?
Was he?
Oh,
Even
you
a
see,
doctor?
Doctor Reverend.
No, not even Doctor Reverend Baron Gosnell.
Yeah, but you know when they call themselves Doctor Reverend, it's just rapping names. It's not real.
Gosnell was convicted of the murders of 3 infants who were born alive after using drugs to induce labour, the manslaughter of 1 woman during an abortion safe and effective,
Right.
and of several
So-
other abortion and drug-related crimes.
I would like people to know the technical term for murder a child that was just about born is called a partial birth abortion.
It's just a couple of cells, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, well, why are you even getting upset about this?
Staff at Gosnell's clinic testified that there were hundreds of infants born alive during abortion procedures and subsequently killed by Gosnell. Gosnell, based in the Mantua, so he was the Manchurian candidate then, was he? Neighbourhood of
It's the
Philadelphia.
man-chewing candidate.
The Mantua. I'll put it in Discord if you want to join in on it. Of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, owned and operated the Women's Medical Society Clinic. What a wonderful... With the Women's Medical Society. A non-compliant...
Well, Pipe
abortion...
says, shout out to Dr. Reverend Puff Daddy, the real people's champion against the deep state.
Yeah. Hobbit. So I think the difference between baby murder and abortion is whether you're compliant or not, because he was a non-compliant abortion clinic.
He wasn't paying his dues.
Yeah. You've always got to pay your dues. Ben Shapiro
It's very
says
important to... Oh, yeah, yeah. He's fully paid up, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
So
That's
so
why
it was
we
a
know...
non-compliant abortion clinic. That means it was baby murder.
Let's see.
So
that's what the
if
difference
it's a compliant
is.
abortion clinic, it's safe and effective women's reproductive health.
Yes, women's reproductive health, murdering little babies.
A non-compliant abortion clinic that was dubbed a House of Horrors during his criminal trial. In a 2010
Isn't this
raid,
just anti-blackism?
Yeah, I mean he's just he's just differently qualified, isn't he?
Are they just keeping a brother down?
Yeah. In a 2010 raid, look at that, they wouldn't have raided a white man's clinic, would they? Authorities found the intact human remains of 47 victims stored in bags and cartons.
See? He was keeping them intact.
A dead body.
Yeah, he was treating them with...
Hobbit. That implies that implies cardboard, doesn't it? A carton.
I mean, you say it implies cardboard. I'm just saying he treated them with due care and reverence. I'm saying this is just racism, pure and simple. They
Go on then.
They didn't like him for being a real doctor, and they're puff daddying him. That's what they're doing.
Well, Puff Daddy won. Puff Daddy's innocent though, isn't he? Puff Daddy. Jeffrey
and so
Epstein.
is this OJ's. So is
Gosnell. Are we saying that a man died in his cell and a woman's still behind bars, and they did nothing? Is that what Trump is saying?
I'm saying they're anti-Semitically imprisoning Jews.
Yeah. In
a very anti-Semitic manner.
Yeah.
They should free every single Jew from prison right now.
In 2011, Gosnell, his wife Pearl, and 8 employees were charged with a total of 32 felonies and 227 misdemeanors. Fuck me, that's quite the sheet, isn't it? In connection with numerous deaths, illegal abortion procedures, and regulatory violations. Gosnell was also a prolific prescriber of numerous controlled substances, including
it's just the way you said regulatory. I was thinking they're regular conservatives. Like you were saying that they're doing violations of the regulations.
Yeah, violations of the regulation
emancipations. Yeah, that's it.
Gosnell was also a prolific prescriber of numerous controlled substances, including OxyContin. I always think it should be called OxyContin. I don't know why that extra N's in there.
They got weird brand names for their drugs, haven't they? Why do we have to have brand names on drugs?
Yeah. So it's oxycodone, sold under the brand name Roxycodone, and OxyContin.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you
Wait,
go.
so they got a chemical name and then they got brand names which sound the same.
Yeah, so
Ugh.
oxycodone is the chemical name. Then would that be? Um,
I'm just looking at his summary here. We can
yeah,
summarize this because we're getting into it, right? So,
yeah,
first degree murder at 3 counts,
mm,
and then involuntary manslaughter.
yeah.
That it just says there's no count of that. Performing an illegal late term abortion, 21 counts, and
Oh, there was one.
violating the.
There was one count. Oh, one count of the manslaughter because that was a woman that died while he was aborting her.
And so he was performing a very late term abortion then.
Yeah.
And then finally, violating the 24-hour informed consent law, 211 counts.
Oh no, not the not
Those,
the not the 24-hour consent law.
no idea what that is, but that
Is
plane's
that?
coming
I think
back.
that's a woman. A woman comes in. She says, I want an abortion," and then they come
Yeah.
back and they go, and then they say, "You got to come back and you got to think about it for a day and then come back." I think that's the 24-hour law.
Ah, well, yeah, but oh, I don't know.
Mm.
As I said, we're here at YouTube treating this with the sensitivity that murdering little babies deserves.
Mm.
Because it's a sensitive subject and it's loaded. You know, it's very controversial. Some people are opposed to murdering little babies, and
Mm.
some people are opposed to those that oppose murdering
Yeah.
little babies. So
So
you
you're
know,
either pro
you've
baby
got
murder or you're against it, basically.
yeah, yeah. Why would you want to be against baby murder? I mean, a woman has a right to choose whether or not to murder a little baby.
So Earl Pipe is having a hell of a time in chat. He said those spare parts
Yeah,
are worth a fortune. If only they allowed this
yeah,
Afro-American fair access into the dead baby parts market. Can a baby be?
yeah,
No, it's a woman that was manslaughtered, not a baby. Seems like
yeah.
a mutually excluded scenario to me, but I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I've just slit. I think that means spilt. I've just spilt grape all over my essay. It's enough to drive someone to self-deletion.
Oh, you're gonna unalive your
Yeah,
liver.
unaliver yourself.
Yeah,
Not
your
literally.
liver. Your life status will be set to unavailable.
Yeah. Um. Well, anyway. Gosnell was
Don't you just
also
love euphemisms?
Gosnell was convicted of first-degree murder in the deaths of three infants, involuntary manslaughter in the death of Kana Maya Mongar, an adult patient at the clinic who died following an abortion procedure. Gosnell was also convicted of. Oh yeah, that's I was in the right place. Gosnell was also convicted of 21 felony accounts of illegal late-term abortion, but it's just a clump of cells, bro. I don't know what your problem
Yeah,
is. And 211 counts of violating Pennsylvania's. Oh yeah, because you just said all this, didn't you, Hobbit?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be fun to get beat you to
Yeah.
the punch.
He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Gosnell was sentenced to additional 30 years in prison for federal drug charges. So I think he got. Did he get more for the federal drug charges than he did the baby murder?
Well, what's worse, selling drugs or murdering little babies? I guess we'll have to find out what the judge says.
He's currently incarcerated at SCI Huntingdon. How do you murder a clump of cells, Hobbit?
Oh, I mean, it just, it's a clump of cells.
So, education and early career. Gosnell was born on February the 9th, 1941 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as the only child of a gas station operator and a government clerk. He was a student at the city's Central High School, from which he graduated in 1959. Gosnell initially attended the University of Pennsylvania, then graduated from Dickinson College with a bachelor's degree. He received his medical degree at the Thomas Jefferson University in 1966, the year we won the World Cup.
The funny thing is, they're saying, but like one of them was a petrol pump guy, and the
Yeah.
other one was a government clerk. And I'm just like, in America, these like I think they said, oh, it's like 80% of black women are employed by the government, and it's
Yeah.
usually as a receptionist or something like that.
The government.
And yeah, and it's like, oh, so even sort of back in the 1940s, that they were, the government's just like, oh, look, we got to do something with these um, coloured folk. That's the what people of colour were called back in the 1940s, the coloured folk. So we'll
It's
put
been
her in the
reported.
reception.
So there's no. It's been reported. What does that mean? Does that mean there's no proof that he spent 4 decades practicing medicine? It's been reported. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Your
we're not
guess is as
sure.
good as mine. What that
Yeah.
means?
Spent 4
Exactly.
decades practicing medicine. It's an oddly specific phrase, isn't it? It's one of those.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing this.
Yeah. Spent 4 decades practicing medicine among the poor. He didn't practice that well. He's ended up with a load of spare parts. He's not that good at putting people back together, is he?
Well, that's why he was only practicing medicine and not doing it for real.
It just reminds
But
me.
you know what the doctors...
Red Dwarf is always the same when you do a bit of DIY. You know, when he puts Crichton back together and he ends up with a big pile of bits.
Oh yeah. No, I just thought to myself like the doctor's always saying, like Harold Shipman, practice makes perfect.
Yeah. Opening the Mantua Halfway House, a rehab clinic for drug addicts in the impoverished Mantua neighborhood of West Philadelphia. He became an early proponent of abortion
born and
rights.
raised.
Yeah.
In the youth centre where he spent most of his days.
The youth centres. He became an early proponent of abortion rights in the 60s and 70s, and in 1972 he returned from a stint in New York City to open up an abortion clinic on Lancaster Avenue in Mantua. A real headline day that was. Gosnell told the Philadelphia
Ever
Inquirer...
since I was a little boy, I wanted to murder little babies and get paid for it.
Gosnell told the Philadelphia
I have
Inquirer
a dream where I can snuff out the lives of little black boys and little black girls and little white boys and little white girls.
As a physician, I am very concerned about the sanctity of life, but it's for this precise reason that I provide abortions for women who want and need them.
Yeah.
Is that what
Sanctity
you
of
call
life,
an oxymoron? That sentence.
But he did have breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
He's very concerned about the sanctity of life, unless it's a little baby, in which case, fuck that clump of cells.
Yeah. Go on then, Hobbit. You can do the next paragraph. You're going to love this one.
That same year, Gosnell also performed 15 televised second trimester abortions. Oh, snuff films, that's nice. Using the experimental and dangerous supercoil method invented by Harvey Carman.
Hobbit? Do you just keep reading and you'll find out what a supercoil is?
I was going to say there's actually a hyperlink to the supercoil, but directed by Harvey Carman, who, that name for some reason makes me have a...
If you want to know what a supercoil it's have you ever seen what's the one with the ball that flies around with the razor blades that pop out of it?
Oh, in Phantasm.
Yeah, Phantasm. Basically,
Tall man.
So they just throw a Phantasm ball inside a woman and hope for the best.
And then turn it on. Yeah. So Harvey Carman. That's sort of the name.
Read this and then go back to read this paragraph.
I'm not sure what it is about Harvey Carman makes me want to have a sniff, but that name makes me sniffy.
Yeah.
So anyway, So Supercoil, invented by... The event came to be known as the Mother's Day Massacre of 1972. The device, which is an untested plastic ball with razor blades, I'll go off to a good start, was inserted into the mother's uterus to chop up and expel the fetus. The device... No, the clump of cells, yeah. The device caused severe laceration. What, you're telling me a spinning ball with razor blades on it caused severe lacerations? Infection and bleeding to the woman. What, you're telling me turning a drill on with a ball with razor blades on it causes bleeding to the woman?
Throwing a phantasm ball inside a woman's stomach causes problems.
Look, I fed some of James Bond's colleagues to the shark pit and they got torn up by it. No one could have predicted this.
Goodness, James
Um,
Bond, we're going to put this plastic ball with razor blades inside you and whirl it around.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We're going to perform in
fuck me,
a
that's a bit much, isn't it? Says one of the henchmen.
we're going to perform an abortion on you. You're going to get
Literally, fucking
aborted.
Freddy Krueger would not do that to a woman.
Well, no, because Tallman's like weird. He's and they never defeated him either. I was waiting for like them to finally defeat him. It's like, come on, look, they're all turning into old codgers now. Who've
Yeah.
got to defeat the Tallman, and they're like, I think the last one is they're in an old folks' home, but like for mental
I think
people.
Time defeated the Tall Man, didn't?
Well, Angus Scrimm, the actor, died in 2015.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that. So, right. The device caused severe lacerations, infection, and bleeding to the women. Complications from the procedure were reported by 9 of the women, with 3 of them reporting life-threatening complications. One woman had to receive a hysterectomy.
What you mean? The ball with the razor blades didn't do that already?
I was going to say I'm surprised about this, but there you have it. Yeah, very surprising.
Oh, Pope says
so
the baby's souls power the portal to the Tall Man's dimension.
yeah, that's true. That is canon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what goes on after then? You ask.
I think even the Tall Man, if he saw the supercoil, I think he'd go, "That's a bit much."
Look, I'm all for like drilling into somebody's skull, but you know,
Yeah.
I've never put something into someone's fanny and turned it on.
Turning people into like weird little 75% different Jawas from Star Wars, like that. That's
Yes,
yeah. That's okay.
legally distinct Jawas.
Even the Tall Man would go, "Look, I'm not putting one of these up a woman's chuff and turning it on. I'm just not doing it."
Look, it's a blender for your minge, is what it is. Do you think, right?
Minge be gone. The Minge be gone 5,000 by JML.
Yeah, JML. We got the rights to the minge be gone. Hit us up.
We are laughing because we have to, because this is fucking.
I'm laughing.
That Japanese fucking unit, what was it? Unit 731 or something? What was it called?
Allegedly.
Like even they would go, "Fuck me, that's a bit much." I know these people are pig dog, barely human people, but I'm not doing that to them. That's a bit too much.
I just it all seems to be like I'm saying like there was some chinky version of Rachel Carson who wrote a book about Unit 731 because that's like all the evidence we got for it. But
pretty sure I've got it wrong.
Yeah, Unit 731. I think that's what it was called. But people all know what. But the Jap unit that did
the Minge Mangle or the Baby Smasher 2000 from Earl Pipe.
So, God. So, look, we're laughing about this because if I start seriously
thought about what this guy was doing to women without 2 fucks given, like you'd fucking cry, wouldn't you?
If I seriously start considering this, I would be like, I'm gonna be sick now. I just had my dinner an hour ago, so
yeah.
I'd rather keep my dinner if that's all right.
Yeah.
But no, do you think this guy like secretly was based and red pilled? And what I mean by that is like, baby murder is bad. I'm still going to do the baby murder because that weird sanctity of life speech he's doing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make the baby murder so fucked up it murders them as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can
actually. The supercoil was not invented by Gosnell, though, was it? It was declared
it's
safe
Harvey
and
Carman.
effective by another man.
Harvey Carman,
Do you want to tell us about Harvey Carman then, Hobbit?
Harvey Leroy Carman was an American psychologist and the inventor of the Carman cannula, a flexible suction cannula used for early-term abortions. Yeah, the Baby Mangler 5000.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just carry on. The 1972, I was trying to thread the needle and saying, maybe he's going to be so horrific it would put people off abortions, but no, it's not going to happen. The 1972 Inquirer article also said that Gosnell was a respected man in this community. Well, for the ones that survived his ministrations.
Citation needed.
Joseph Goebbels was a respected physician in Germany.
Yeah.
And what else did they say about him? And a finalist for Junior Chamber of Commerce's Young Philadelphian of the Year
Oh my god,
because
you've
of
got
his.
to read about supercoils, Hobbit, and where they were first tested out.
Let me finish this
Yeah,
paragraph and we can read about the
yeah,
supercores. Because of his work directing the Mantua halfway house.
yeah.
By the late 1980s, however, public records showed state tax liens were piling up against the halfway house, and the abortion clinic had a $41,000 federal tax lien. So, the Baby Smasher 3000. What's it all about
Yeah.
then, Hemi? Over
Um,
to you.
let's just we know. So Harvey Carman was born Harvey Walters. So always the mark of a decent man is changing your name. Um,
Yeah, like changing a pair of socks.
so in 1955, Carman, who at the time was working toward his doctorate in psychology. So remember, this is a psychology doctor, and was not licensed to
And it's like,
practice medicine.
yeah.
Oh my! Used a speculum and a nutcracker to perform an abortion on a woman in a California motel room, Hobbit.
You know the guy that did lobotomies?
Yeah.
He was using an ice pick and he was shoving them up people's nose. He was shoving up women's noses
Yeah.
and penetrating the brain with that. And then he
Yeah.
found out you can do it through the eye, and it's like
Yeah.
it works like half of the time, and the other half of the time he caused like major hemorrhaging because it's like turns out when you jab an ice pick, because he was using an ice pick into someone's skull, it causes severe
You're
trauma.
saying putting an ice pick into a random part of somebody's brain is not. It doesn't have good endpoint.
Well, half of the time it doesn't. The other half of the time it seemed to cure the women of their hysteria. So that's better than placebo.
So Carmen also developed the super coil. Are you fed up with your ever old normal coil, or where it stops you from having a baby? Would you rather?
I'm,
Would you
I'm
rather have
used.
spinning razor blades inside your chuff
What,
instead?
what they need, right, is the abortionist, and he's got a pain in his lower back. Everything's in black and white, and he's wiping the sweat and gore off of his brow, and they're like introducing the new JML super coil.
Which he believed would enable lay practitioners. So they're talking about literally any old fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like, go down your local quick fit, and they'll just do you an abortion if you want one.
You go down to your Walmart and you'd be like, yeah, you get some oranges, and I'll have an abortion whilst I'm here.
To perform second trimester. What is second trimester, Hobbit? Do you know what stage that is?
So the trimesters, I assume tri means three. So yeah, you got 9 months. So I'm assuming like each trimester is 3 months.
Yeah.
So the second trimester is between 3 and 6.
Fucking
Someone in the
hell.
chat, correct me if I'm wrong.
So 12 weeks is. So 12 weeks is 3. So that's pretty similar to us, where it's up to 24 weeks then.
Oh, that's disgusting. No, it's up to the day of birth is decriminalised
I
now.
mean legally. I mean, like, not decriminalised. It's well, since forever, ours was always 24 weeks, wasn't it? Was the maximum.
I mean, the woman could literally be in labour, and as long as like the baby there's still like a little bit in her birth canal, they can still murder the baby. That's why.
As long as the kid has a foot in the birth canal.
So this is the thing I didn't explain to Fraser. The reason they do a partial birth abortion is if the baby's been fully born, then it's now born and now it counts as a murder.
And then it's not a clump of cells anymore. Whereas if it has a foot in the vagina, it's still a clump of cells.
So what they do is they make the woman give birth, and then they put its hand or its foot in the fanny, and then they can like crush its skull with a hammer. Or other methods. They also use super coils.
I wonder if
they
it's one of those
use
Soldier Man nutcrackers. I wonder what you mean. Like from the one that wears the red coat and that one of those nutcrackers. Yeah, we didn't actually Yeah, see, doing it with a nutcracker, like a traditional nutcracker, it's hinged at the end. Like, how the fuck did he get the nutcracker around it?
So the thing is, well, maybe he pulled them out enough and then wrapped the nutcracker around a limb. In partial birth abortion, and I'm sorry to be gory. Look, if you've had your dinner, maybe like don't listen to tonight's episode. But No, no, it's not. But look, I will describe this process. And the thing is, we talk about supercore. It's like, oh, that's barbaric. Who would do such things? It's like, yeah, but partial birth abortion does use the supercoil. They've got this thing, right, which is like a vacuum cleaner, and it's got a suction cup,
They
and in the
suck limbs
suction
off, don't they?
cup,
One at a they like literally pull each limb off, don't they?
no, it's more than that. It's actually got the rotating razor blades, but they're inside the suction cup as opposed to the
Oh,
outside of
okay,
it.
yeah.
And that way, like the woman's less likely to be chopped up by the razor blades,
Mm.
and like the baby's like they're tugging on the placenta, trying to like pull its limbs away from it because it's being sucked into this thing, causing it undeniable agony. And yeah, and then like it all gets pulled into the machine, and women just murder their babies in brutal ways where you go like even some Aztec gang members who skin people alive be like, steady on guy, this is a bit too much.
Yeah. The coils were inserted into uterus where they
Even ISIS would be like, hang on, we might saw people's heads off, but we don't murder little babies.
yeah, where they caused irritation leading to the expulsion of the irritation, that's one word for it. Leading to the
I
expulsion of the
suppose so.
fetus. It's pretty irritating
Yeah, I
watching
mean
all
I
the
mean
bits, isn't it?
if you've like put like a blender in someone's you know what, and
Hoo
then
ha.
turned it on. Yeah, and if you turned it onto high, you've turned it to super mode. I
Yeah.
guess that would be pretty irritating. Oh, I feel irritated. What you've put in this blender that's a vacuum cleaner inside my
Hobbit, the
cooch.
first trial of the supercoil method was on which country?
Ah, Sierra Leone.
Bangladeshi grape victims under the sponsorship of the International Planned Parenthood Federation.
Oh, so that's Margaret Sanger's thing.
Yeah,
Margaret Sanger said some
killing
interesting
the
things to
weeds.
say.
Killing the weeds, weren't she?
Margaret Sanger had some very interesting things to say. Very interesting. I'm
Um,
not saying I approve of the things Margaret Sanger said, by the way. I'm just saying it's interesting she would make statements like that publicly.
well, isn't Kermit Gosnell a child of, a intellectual child of Margaret Sanger, isn't he?
He's her protege,
Yeah.
I believe, is the
These generally
fancy
resulted
pants
in
word.
high rates of injury to the patient. Who could have predicted this?
You're telling me sticking a ball with razor blades on and turning it on to blend inside someone's
Yeah,
innards
yeah,
would cause injury and
yeah.
harm? I'm shocked, Hemi.
So one trial of the supercool method took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on 13th and 14th of May 1972. 15 women in their second trimester travelled from Chicago to Philadelphia, where he is Dr. Reverend Kermit Gosnell, later convicted as a serial killer, used Carmen's method to perform their abortions. A public television crew from the station in New York City filmed the procedures at Carmen's invitation. 9 of the 15 had complications. 3 of those were major complications.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm really happy now, Hemi.
Carmen invested. It all ends well, Hobbit, because Carmen invented a soft, flexible cannula for abortions. At the time of his death at
Oh, well,
Cotter
that's
Hospital,
okay
Santa
then.
Barbara, California, 2008, it was still wide use around the world.
That's nice.
He's the father of Janice Carmen. I don't know if you knew that. Janice Carmen Bagdasarian is an American filmmaker, designer, actress, and singer. She was the co-owner of Bagdasarian Productions with her husband Ross Bagdasarian Jr. That's not Wacky Back, is it?
No, no, I think her name's Annie.
Yeah, no, it's Annie's Angle, isn't it? Great YouTube channel.
Oh, she's cooking up a storm. She is.
Yeah,
No, no, it's not bad mouth wacky back. The Hunchback of New Jersey is a nice lady.
she's a very nice lady.
Yeah.
So did you do all of that bit then? Did you? So about Gosnell being married 3
Oh,
times. Did you get that far down?
uh, so yeah, no, that paragraph I haven't read yet. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go on then.
Gosnell's been married 3 times,
Really?
and he was, yeah, and I suppose to his ex-wives he said, do you want me to do an abortion on you, but
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant? It's like, yeah, that's what I mean.
It's
His
it's
third
all right.
and
It's all right. I've got a strimmer from the garden.
Yeah, yeah, I can stick the flail attachment on it. It'll be fine. Um, Pearl, so his third and his current wife, Pearl, had worked at the Women's Medical Society as a full-time medical assistant from 1982 until their marriage in 1990. They have two children. Oh, they
Oh,
survived.
yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Two children. Gosnell has four other children from his two previous marriages. Wow. He's got six children himself and he didn't abort any of them.
Mm.
Isn't it interesting that this guy who's all really keen on murdering babies didn't murder
Gung
his own
ho. He was
babies?
gung ho for murdering babies.
He really did like murdering babies,
Mm.
but not his own babies.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the guy should practice what you preach, frankly,
Mm.
and show the world how it's done. But in covering his background, media commentators drew attention to the incredibly diverse portrayals of Gosnell, touching on both his community works, the creation of the Halfway House and Teen Aid program, contrasted with the portrayals of his practice as an abortion mill, in which viable clumps of cells and clumps of cells. They're
Yeah.
using other terms here, but
Yeah.
we're going to use the official YouTube terminology of
Yeah.
clumps of cells. Were routinely killed, no, aborted, following illegal late term procedures, abortions.
Yeah. Irregular.
Medical.
Irregular procedures.
Ah, yes. No, he was regularly doing these
Literally,
routine
is that last bit
abortions.
of that paragraph? Is that you know what you say? You can say what you like about Fred West, but he laid a good patio. Is that literally?
Mm.
Is that literally what they're doing with that paragraph?
See what you like about him, but he sure knew how to murder a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, would you like to see the price list at his clinic? So,
Yeah.
if you murder one baby, get another baby free. Is that how it
I
works?
say you murder one, you murder one, you murder one free. You murder one, you murder one free.
Oh, here we go. So, non-surgical termination, something called RU486. So, what is that like a radioactive element you swallow? You can get that for $625.
Yeah.
Oh, but if you got Medicaid, that's 450. And what else you got? Surgical, 6 to 12 weeks, 450. 13 to 14 weeks, 575. 15 to 16 weeks, 675. 17 to 18, 925. 19 to 20 weeks, 1150. And 21 to 22 weeks, 1325. Then there's something called multi-gravida, 2-day procedure. 21 to 22 weeks is 1575. And Prima Gravida, 3-day procedure, 23 to 24 weeks, $1,850. And
Almost always a 3-day procedure.
oh, so you can have local sedation,
So I
paracervical
think you're
block.
supposed to read it below Hobbit. So 21 to 22 weeks is
Oh
multi-gravida,
yeah,
which is a 2-day procedure.
yeah.
21 to
So the
22
24
weeks
week,
is a
yeah,
3-day procedure. 23 to 24
yeah,
weeks is almost always a 3-day procedure. So that would be
that's right. Yeah,
inducing labour, I'd assume. If it's the 3-day procedures would be
yeah,
inducing labour, wouldn't they?
yeah, that's right. So you got some sedation, local sedation is no additional charge.
What the fuck is the
Heavy sedation.
merchandising fee, Hobbit?
Well, we'll get to that, I suppose. Heavy sedation and paracervical block is $50. Twilight sedation, what
That
is it?
sounds
We
nice.
get twinkly,
You get smacked. You
$90.
get smacked in the head with a book about sparkly vampires.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can have custom sedation. Oh, I don't know what the custom sedation is, but
I don't
you
like the
can have
sound of
custom.
custom. I don't like the sound of custom.
You can have some Fent if you like some Fent. Payment for credit cards is acceptable, but a merchandising fee is added.
A
And the
merchandising
merchandising
fee.
fee, yeah, yeah.
So if you're paying $1,500, then you're paying an extra $45 on top of that.
The Twilight or Custom is administered at no additional cost for patients 15 to 24 years old. Oh, he's performing abortions on 15-year-olds. Gestational, for patients 15 to 24 gestational weeks,
Yeah,
as provided according to the needs and comforts of the patient.
yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful.
yeah, yeah. So, medical practice in 2011. Gosnell was reported to be a well-known in Philadelphia for providing abortions to poor minority and immigrant women. Gosnell has been heavily criticised for racism on the
Who
basis.
was that geezer? Was it Crippen? Was it Dr. Crippen? You know, where they kind of prey on the immigrants and the minority people. I think there's like a doctor. Is it, or is it more like kind of H.H. Holmes in his murder hotel kind of thing, where you offer cheap rooms but you're murdering people?
I don't know. Gosnell has been heavily criticised for racism. Oh yeah, never mind the baby murder. It's the racism that's the bad thing he did.
Yeah.
You see, on the basis that you separate white women from black women, and he gave the white women a slightly cleaner room for their abortion procedures.
Slightly cleaner. It only had the odd arm and leg laying on the floor.
You know, occasionally he'd rip around some Pine Sol on it. I think Pine Sol's what they use. And
is that like Dettol or something? Then is it Savlon or something?
Yeah, or Domestos. Or...
Yeah.
I don't know what Pine Sol is, but
yeah.
You know, they go mad for it over there. You see the Pine Sol.
Yeah.
He also claimed he charged $1,600 to $3,000 for each late-term abortion, and he made $10,000 to $15,000 per day from the clinic. Well, it's doing all right, I suppose. So, you know, there's good money to be made in murdering babies.
L Pipe says, "Man, the Russians only use that radioactive consumables on enemy spies."
Yeah, they use them on babies.
Yeah.
Gosnell was also associated with clinics in Delaware.
And L Pipe's giving us some clarification on that. He cleaned the blood from the stirrups.
Oh,
just
that's not very nice.
Yeah, if you've seen anything about this, just think something like whatever, like
Right. Imagine you've got some strawberry jam, right? And you put the entire jam jar, lid and all, into a Blendtec blender.
Yeah.
And the guy says, will it blend? And then he turns it on. And then you got like a load of strawberry jam and bits of glass just spinning around in a blender. Imagine
I was thinking
that.
of the actual state of the place, because the state was like, you know, every horror film game you've ever played with like body parts, blood all over the floor and flies all over the place. Like, that's kind of what I imagine Gosnell's clinic to be like, from what I've heard about it.
I'm still thinking of the phantasm ball inside the babies.
Yeah, the women.
Yeah, the women babies.
Yeah.
Gosnell's also associated with clinics in Delaware and Louisiana. Atlantic Women's Services in Wilmington, Delaware, was Gosnell's place of work for one day each week. The owner of Atlantic Women's Services, Leroy Brinkley, also owned Delta Clinic of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and facilitated the hiring of staff from there for Gosnell's operation in Philadelphia.
Fucking hell, I don't know what the distance is from that, but that sounds like a fair distance, doesn't it?
He gets around, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So we got some known prior complaints. Do you want me to rattle them off?
Do you
1989?
Or you're right.
Oh, I'm happy to carry on. I'm really enjoying this. This is so nice. 1989 and 1993, cited by Pennsylvania Department of Health for having no nurses in the recovery room.
Well, what do you need nurses in the recovery room for, Robert?
It's like, look, fuck them bitch, just murdering babies. You're lucky I don't go out to the recovery room and piss in your face. So, 1996, censured and fined both Pennsylvania... Yeah, censured and fined both Pennsylvania and New York for pissing in the face. For employing unlicensed personnel.
Okay, literally.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Probably like went down Home Depot, as the Yanks call it. And
it's like, yeah.
Picked up some nursing staff.
That's it, you know. It's like,
you look like a doctor.
It's like, see, I'll be Dr. Good. Do you think he just got some hose and said, hey, look, can you put the nurse's outfit on? I'll pay you.
Probably.
Around 1997, pediatrician Dr. Donald Schwartz, which is the former head of... Yeah. Oh, no, there's no E at the end. It's just a Schwartz. Yeah. The former head of adolescent services at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and as of 2010, Philadelphia's health commissioner, testified in 2010, hearing that around 1996-97, he had hand-delivered a letter of complaint about Gosnell's practice to the Secretary of House office and stopped referring patients to the clinic
Look at
because he
that.
kept
Fucking
pissing in their face.
typical Donald Schwartz trying to hold the black man down.
Look, these Jews, it's not bad enough what they've done to the blacks in the past. He's now trying to die in business
Yeah.
just because he's pissing in their face.
Yeah.
2000. Do you know something I really regret about the year 2000?
What?
And I don't know why I did this. Maybe I was busy having sex or playing Unreal Tournament,
Yeah.
but I never saw Gladiator in the cinema.
Oh, I did.
I regret not seeing Gladiator. That was a
Later on
good
that evening, I
film.
had sex with the young lady I took there.
Well done. You see, I could have been having sex
I watched
and watching
Gladiator and
Gladiator.
had sex. Hobbit.
Yeah. 2000 civil lawsuit filed on behalf of the children of Simica Shaw, who had called the clinic the day after an abortion to report heavy bleeding and being pissed on in the face. But she died 3 days later of a perforated uterus and bloodstream infection from being pissed on. The case, it's like R. Kelly. The
Yeah.
case alleged that Gosnell had failed to tell her to return to the clinic or seek emergency medical care. The case was settled out of court in 2002 for $900,000. Hey, he's all right, you know. Here's some like hush money to throw
Did he
around.
just sell some baby parts for that then? Did he?
I suppose so. Around two. Well, then again, he is earning $15,000 a day doing this, so
Yeah.
you know maybe he just keeps them as souvenirs.
Yeah.
Ah, Ian, pay attention, right? Around 2001, Gosnell claimed to be pissing in the sink. Oh, to be providing children's vaccines under a program administered by the Health Department's Division for Disease Control,
Oh,
but was
Pop says this
repeatedly
sounds like
suspended.
the Reanimator movies. I think that's probably what. I think that's probably the closest to Gosnell's surgery has appeared on film.
He was repeatedly suspended for failing to not piss in the sink and for storing vaccines and
Maybe the Event Horizon after they had that blood orgy satanic thing. Maybe Gosnell's clinic looked a bit like the bridge after that happened.
and for storing vaccines in unsanitary urinals.
Oh, not
And
vaccines.
Yeah, he kept them in improper temperatures, the vaccines, when he was pissing on them in the sink. December 2001.
Right, people actually think he's been pissing on stuff. He hasn't been pissing on stuff. This is Hobbit's artistic flair.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Sources claim.
Sources say.
Yeah, ex-employee Marcella Cheong gave what a grand jury to later court a detailed written complaint to the Pennsylvania Department of State, one which she followed up in an interview in March 2002. Now, it doesn't say here what the complaint was about, but I'm going to assume, because sources say, it was because he was pissing in her face. He just whipped out his Johnson.
They really will not tell you the state of the place.
But
Maybe
I reckon
later. But
he whipped out his Johnson.
Like everyone that's listening to this, and you, Hobbit, you just need to get into your head how bad this place was. They went into the cellar and they found like they found buckets of like baby feet and things like that, just like weird shit.
Which she was caught pissing on.
Yeah,
In total, 46 known lawsuits were filed against Gosnell over some 32 years of his career. Observers claim that there was a complete failure by Pennsylvania regulators who had overlooked other repeated concerns brought to their attention,
Speaking
including
of pissing in things, do you know plasterers in the winter? You know when you need everything warmed up a bit, they piss in the bucket and stir it around. So there are people out there that have got pissy plaster.
They're keeping the old tradition alive. You know, wattle and daub, where you'd smear. Where you'd make cow poo and clay. That's your daub, and the wattles were the sticks you'd weave in between. So you daub on the cow poo and horsehair and other things, and it's very elastic. Yeah, and then you put a lime mortar on top of that. But I don't think you're obliged to piss in it, the lime mortar. And a high level of illegal late-term abortions. Do you want to do the legal case, 2010 raid?
Yeah, can do. So the 2010 raid, I think this is probably where you're going to...
Oh, dear God, I didn't need to see a photograph of that. Oh, that's horrible. I feel sad now.
Actually.
I feel sad now.
Oh, the bags. Yeah. Oh, the fridge with the bags. like a regular fridge. Like you ain't gonna get any milk in there, are you? Gosnell,
You'd have to take out some of the body parts first.
yeah. Save image as. I'll put this up on screen. It's just like people need to know like how bad this fucker was. This fucker was bad. He was a bad man. So Gosnell's
very
clinic,
nice,
the Women's
was it?
Medical Society, was raided on February the 18th, 2010, under a search warrant by investigators from the FBI and Pennsylvania State Police. The raid was a result of a months-long investigation by the DEA, the Philadelphia Police Department, and the state's Dangerous Drug Offender Unit. Never heard of them, are you, Hobbit? Into suspected illegal drug prescription use at the practice. The investigation had also revealed the suspicious 2009 death of patient Karamaya Mongar, 41-year-old refugee from Bhutan, which had in turn brought to light further information about unsanitary operations, use of untrained staff, including teenagers, and the use of powerful drugs without proper medical supervision and control. Thus, when the February 2010...
Imagine you're doing work experience and be like, oh, I'm going to work at the abortion clinic for my work experience.
I'm gonna work at the Silent Hill abortion clinic down the road. You know the one that's got blood dripping out the front door, and it's always got flies around it. Staff from Pennsylvania.
You have to do an essay about your week of work experience.
Yeah. Staff from Pennsylvania's Departments of State and Health also attended, as these issues were under their remit. So, when the team members entered the clinic, they were appalled, describing it to the grand jury as filthy, deplorable and disgusting, very unsanitary, very outdated, horrendous, and by far the worst that these experienced investigators had ever encountered. There was blood on the floor. A stench of urine filled the air. Hobbit, you've been. What's the word? I fucking know it's gone.
I predicted this.
Yes. A flea-infested cat was wandering through the facility, and there were cat feces on the stairs. Semi-conscious women scheduled for abortions were moaning in the waiting room or the recovery room, where they sat on dirty recliners covered with blood-stained blankets. All the women had been sedated by unlicensed staff long before Gosnell arrived at the clinic, and staff members could not accurately state what medications or dosages they'd been administered to the waiting patients. Many of the medications in inventory were past their expiration dates. Surgical procedure forms were filthy and unsanitary, resembling a bad gas station restroom. Oh no! So just probably think the toilet from Train Spotting. I think that's probably more like it. Instruments were not sterile. Equipment was rusty and outdated. Oxygen equipment was covered with dust that had not been inspected. The same corroded suction tubing used for abortions was the only tubing available for oral airways if assistance for breathing was needed. Hobbit.
Yep.
Oh, God. Fetal remains were haphazardly stored throughout the clinic in bags, milk jugs, orange juice cartons, and even in cat food containers. Gosnell admitted to Detective Wood that at least 10 to 20% were probably older than 24 weeks, the legal limit. In some instances, surgical incisions had been made at the base of the fetal skulls. The investigators found a row of jars containing just the severed feet of fetuses, clumps of cells, that is. In the basement, they discovered medical waste piled high. The intact 19-week fetus delivered by Mrs. Mongar 3 months earlier was in a freezer. In all, the remains of 45 fetuses were recovered. At least 2 of them, and probably 3, had been viable. Just clumps of cells. It had 1 foot in the vagina. It was a clump of cells, weren't it, Hobbit?
Is that going to be the new Victor Meldrew thing? 1 foot in the vagina.
I don't believe it.
They say I'm just too long in the tooth. 24 weeks is too long. I'm just a clump of cells. And soon they'll put the phantasm ball on my head. They'll rip me out limb by limb. 1 foot in the vagoo.
Dom says it's the easy
1
bit of
foot in the...
clinics.
1 foot of the Vagoo. Oh,
Oh,
it's more like the Ryanair, isn't it?
yeah, I'd say Ryanair or Romanian state, whatever the Romanian state airline is.
I decided not to get Ryanair for my flight, so I got Air Italia instead.
Gosnell's
And Wizz.
license. Gosnell's license to practice was suspended on February the 22nd, 2010. What? Look at this, just trying to keep a brother down, Hobbit.
I know. Yeah.
And a plethora of findings was presented to a grand jury on May the 4th, 2010. Public discussion focused on claims of unsanitary conditions and other unacceptable conditions at the practices. Media reports stated that furniture and blankets were stained with blood, freely roaming cats defecated wherever they pleased, and that non-sterilised equipment was used and reused on patients.
Do you think he was feeding baby parts to the cats?
Oh, no. That is the kind of speculation that I do not want on this programme of it.
Why are cats sniffing around dead baby parts?
Oh, didn't they check the feces to see if there's any little... no, stop it. According to the grand jury report, patients were being given labour-inducing drugs by staff who had no medical training. Once labour began, the patient would be placed on a toilet. After the fetus fell into the toilet, it would be fished out so as not to clog the plumbing. In the recovery room, patients were seated on dirty recliners covered in blood-stained blankets. Prosecutors alleged that Gosnell had not been certified in either gynecology or obstetrics. Yeah, but he's only killing babies, though, isn't he?
It's just a clump of sows. There's no baby murder
do you,
involved.
do you really think that the man who put the vag began inside a woman, the womb began inside a woman, had no medical training? Do you think that's possible, Hobbit?
With Mangler 5000.
Yeah, the Minge Mangler.
But he watched all the infomercials about it late at night in between the JML adverts.
The grand jury estimated that his practice took in $10,000 to $15,000 a night of additional income from his exceedingly high level of prescriptions. So that 10 to 15 of it, that was additional income. That wasn't his actual income.
You know, it wasn't enough. He needed to earn a bit more.
Yeah. Go on then, Hobbit. You can do the 2011 arrest.
Gosnell, surprisingly, was arrested in 2011 on January the 19th.
I think it actually.
Oh, fuck me. Well, is there a way I can just disable the photographs in this? Let's just try and not look at them.
Can you not do the speed read? No, you can't, can you?
No, unfortunately not. 5 days after the certification of the grand jury's report, he was charged with 8 counts of murder. Prosecutors allege that he killed 7 clumps of cells born alive by severing their spinal cords with scissors. And he was also responsible for the death in 2009 of Carmenea Mongar, who was a clump of cells. Gosnell's wife Pearl and 8 other suspects were also arrested in connection with the case. Yeah, it was still a clump of cells. The DEA, I mean, I make no distinction whether it's as large or small clump of cells. They're all clumps of cells to me. The DA, the FBI, and the Office of the Inspector General also sought a 23-count indictment charging Gosnell and 7 members of the former staff with drug conspiracy relating to the practice of illegal prescriptions of highly addictive painkillers and sedatives outside the usual course of professional practice. Because that's the really important
one that he goes down for, right?
And no legitimate medical purpose. The third-degree murder charge relates to Kamania Mongar, a clump of cells, a refugee from Bhutan.
She was a large very large
clump. A clump of cells from Bhutan. 41 years old, who'd immigrated the same year, 2009. She went to Gosnell's clinic. According to prosecutors, Gosnell's staff gave the 90-pound woman a lethal dose of anesthesia and painkillers during the 2009 abortion. During Gosnell's trial, I mean, if you're 41 years old, maybe you should be like, maybe I need to take better care of myself and not do this. Maybe like I'm 41, I should know by now to wear a condom and stuff. And so, well, it's just a clump of cells. How would it know the difference? During Gosnell's trial, toxicologists testified to unsafe levels of drugs, and the lead of anesthesiology at the University of Pittsburgh Medical School testified that the dose received by her was outrageous. What is it, a George Floyd dose, or is it like something a bit less? And the most average adults would have stopped breathing if dosed in the manner described. So is it like a George Floyd
So he was
level dose, or
literally
is it
doing
below?
straight fent, really.
Did she give him like a dodgy $20 bill? Um, and so Gosnell's lawyer assessed that Mongar had other drugs in the system. Ah, that old caveat, you see. Well, he was
Yeah,
already got meth and cannabis in his system, so that balances out the fent, right?
yeah.
Um, yeah. Uh, Other drugs in the system did not come from Gosnell's clinic, and that none of the infants were born alive. Yeah, as soon as it sticks head out, he hits it with a hammer
He'd
and
have one
pisses.
vagina in the one foot in the vagina. Not,
Yeah, 1 foot in a vagina. Da, da. The baby's there, just like trying to crawl. Sorry, the clump of cells is there trying to crawl away from it, being hit with a hammer, and he's just like he's got the staple gun and he's put the foot in the fucking vagina. Fuck me, just get through it. Got and then none of the infants are born alive.
so
It's
so
not
he's so he's
funny.
we- so he's whether it's a baby or not. Is it like round? Is it like rounders where you still got one foot on the base? You're all right.
Yeah, it's just like look, the toes are touching the labia. It's still in the woman, so it doesn't count. Based upon expert testimony, that was the overdose of the Demerol and not some mystery pill that killed Mrs. Monger. The 7 other murder charges are all of first-degree murder. They relate to a clump of cells,
Yeah,
whom staff have testified that they saw move or cry after complete birth, and that's just random noises. Clumps of cells make those,
yeah,
and whose deaths are alleged to have resulted from subsequent lethal action. They arise because of the born alive rule, a principle of common law in the United States which stipulates that by default, for legal purposes, personhood arises and therefore unlawful killing constitutional murder becomes possible immediately upon the victim's first being born alive. So when a kitten's born, it's got personhood because it's been born, you see,
yeah.
and it goes mew, mew. And if you killed that kitten in the kitten stomper, that would be a terrible thing to do because I like the kitty cats. So I don't know who's the market for the kitten stomper.
Yeah. Same person for the vag be gone, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe they're going to use like it's a low cost, low technology thing. They're going to have the baby stomper instead of using these electric tools
Yeah,
because it's the carbon neutral approach to abortion.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, right. So, specific laws enacted by, yeah. Stephen Massoff, a clinic employee who pleaded guilty to similar charges in 2011, testified that he, Massoff, had snipped the spines of more than 100 infants after they'd been born alive.
oh,
This was considered standard procedure at the clinic. A number of other employees had also testified to the same point. No physical evidence exists for 5 of the 7 cases. Charges are based on staff testimony and denied by Gosnell. A photograph exists of the 6, who allegedly had a gestation age of 30 weeks, and the physical remains were obtained for the 7th. The grand jury report states medical expert 40 years experience in performing abortions was appalled. The expert told us, I never heard of it being done during an abortion, the cutting of the spinal cord. No, you should use more humane techniques like the vacuum cleaner with razor blades on the inside that spins round
or
and
just the
round like a
vag be gone.
garbage. Well, like the garbage disposal. That's what it is. It's like a garbage disposal. They stick it in there, and it sucks the baby out, and then it rips it to
I just
pieces
can't
like a
believe how they
garbage
just go, look,
disposal.
we'll just throw the about vag be gone, it'll be fine. Ah, I know what we
Yeah.
need to do. We need to put a guard around the vag be gone so it doesn't kill the woman as well. Imagine
Yeah,
that being an afterthought.
you see, the expert never heard of cutting the spinal cord being done during abortion. You
Yeah,
you got to use the more humane techniques, like the wait till its head sticking out the vagu and hit it with a hammer, a ball
yeah,
peen hammer. The United States Attorney for Eastern District of Pennsylvania also alleged that got. Do I want to do a dead baby jokes? Saying about a pitchfork and babies
Yeah,
and a
literally,
baby in a
still
blend.
more humane than anything Kermit Gosnell did to a baby.
A baby in a blender. It goes
Oh,
from pink to red
hurry up,
in a
Hobbit! It's going to
second.
get funny again because Gosnell's lawyer's
Uh,
going to comment.
okay. Also, they Gosnell's former office staff at Women's Medical Society ran a prescription pill mill from June 2008 to 2010. Gosnell allegedly engaged in continuing criminal enterprise by writing and dispensing fraudulent prescriptions for thousands of pills, frequent abuse of tablets of OxyContin, Percocet, and Xanax, and frequent abuse syrups of Phenergon.
Zanny the nanny.
Phenergon. That's a sleep medication, isn't it? My mum had promethazine, sold on the brand name Phenergon, among others, is first generation antihistamine sedative and antiemetic. Yeah, Phenergon.
Phenagran is a promethazine. Yeah.
Well, my mum called it Phenergon. She used it as a sleeping pill, and I've had it before, and I mean, it works. Yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, like all that those stuff, they don't work after a while. Autism blanket, much better. That's like a weighted blanket. Promethazine and codeine. Authorities further allege that I didn't know Phenergon comes as a well. I guess in America it comes as a syrup. Gosnell and his staff allowed customers to purchase multiple prescriptions under multiple names. For the first office visit, Gosnell allegedly charged $115, but around December 2009, he allegedly increased the initial office fee to $150. Staff of the clinic went from writing several hundred prescriptions of controlled substance per month film pharmacies in 2008 to 2,300 filmed at pharmacies in 2010. Gosnell, with the assistance of his staff, is said to have distributed and dispensed more than 500,000 pills containing oxycodone, more than 400,000 pills containing alprazolam, and more than 19,000 ounces of cough syrup containing codeine. Gosnell's lawyer stated that everybody's made him the butcher.
Is that scissor?
Yeah,
Cough
scissors,
syrup.
codeine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's made him the butcher, this and the other thing, without any charge, without anything being exposed to the public, and everybody's found guilty. That's not right. His lawyer's Ben Shapiro. He accused the government of a lynching and stated, "This is targeted elitist and racist prosecution of a doctor who's done nothing to get back to the poor and people of West Philadelphia."
Oh, apart from
Following his arrest,
that woman that died. Oh, and the
yeah,
thousands
but
of
she
babies
doesn't.
he killed.
Yeah, but they're just clumps of cells.
Yeah.
Following his arrest, Gosnell claimed, "I'm very close to being destitute." However, the statement is contradicted by records showing that he and his wife own at least 17 properties across 4 states, including a $1 million house in Brigantine, New Jersey.
Brigantine, that's a pretty... It seems like it comes from, like, brigand, doesn't it? meaning outlaw or robber.
He's doing well for himself. Other cases cited
up by his bootstraps, didn't he? Never hurt nobody.
Yeah, well, apart from all the babies.
Yeah.
Do you want to do other cases cited in the media?
I'll do that. Examples of other cases cited in the media include girl aged 15, accompanied by a relative, 1998, said to have told Gosnell she changed her mind about the abortion once inside the practice. Gosnell got upset, ripped off the patient's clothing and forcibly restrained her. "You will be having this fucking abortion." Patient later stated Gosnell told her, "This is the same care I give to my own daughter." She regained consciousness 12 hours later at her aunt's home, the abortion having been completed against her will. Woman 28, 5 months pregnant, 2001. Patient described the pain 4 days after abortion as being so bad she could barely walk. The patient described that upon returning to the clinic because of the pain, the ultrasound showed fetal remains left inside her uterus, and that Gosnell suctioned these out without anaesthesia. Just whip the old Hoover up there, up the old chuff. It was just laying on the table and I was just laying on the table and crying. I just asked the Lord to get me through it. 15-year-old undated, damages awarded in court upon finding that Gosnell performed an abortion on a 15-year-old without parental permission. So basically, if you went in there pregnant, you came out not pregnant.
And that's what they paid for?
Yeah. You pay for an abortion, you got one.
Are they all having buyer's remorse? It's like, oh, I paid to have my baby murdered and now I regret it.
Who thought abortion involved murdering babies? They
Yeah,
weren't told this, were they?
no. The
Of course,
poor
the world
women were
does a lot of
victims
this.
in all this. There certainly is.
Hobbit, do you want to do any more? Or do you think we're about done it?
Look, can we summarise this as it just comes to cells, it's not murder, and
Yeah, because if you go
this is
down
just
too
race.
far, there's a picture of the baby's back of the neck snip.
Yeah, and they talk about lack of government oversight and stuff like that. But it's like, look, there's supposed to be this thing, right, where people are supposed to be more or less autonomous, and it's
Oh
just
my
when you get into
fucking god.
trouble, just go,
Extreme unsanitary conditions resulting in cases of STDs and sepsis.
well, I mean, if there's going to be blood and gore about, then yeah,
Yeah.
that will happen.
Padlocked emergency access and exit routes. Lack of properly trained staff. Gosling himself was largely absent and left the clinic to be operated by his unqualified employees, who he sometimes ordered to perform medical actions even if they protested they were unqualified.
Oh, this is an
Prescription
interesting
treadmill.
statement.
God, what's that?
In 2011, it was reported that none of Pennsylvania's 22 abortion clinics have been inspected by the government for more than 15 years.
Oh, right, and the only one they do
Inspections.
inspect is the black man's, isn't it?
Inspections, other than those triggered by complaints, had ceased under the governorship of Tom Ridge, a pro-murder Republican, as they were perceived to create a barrier to women seeking abortion services.
Oh, actually, it says here Gosnell's practice was caught by accident during a raid for illegal drug prescribing.
Well, there you go.
So basically,
He got great.
if the place had looked relatively normal, he probably would have got away with it.
If he wasn't such a greedy so-and-so,
Yeah.
then he'd have got away with that. They weren't cared about the baby murder. It's just like, hey, you're prescribing a lot of drugs.
Yeah. Recommendations. Trial. So here's the trial. Oh, a gag order was imposed on both defence and prosecution in April 2011 to bar them from talking to the media before trial. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I thought
can
this
I-
was America.
Can I read out what they have injunctions in America? A D
I'm
notice
sorry,
for
I thought this was
America. Yeah. Oh, so much for your much vaunted First Amendment rights there.
Yeah.
I like this statement here, grand jury report. The reality of this, it's not about the controversy, it is about disregard of the law and disdain for the lives and health of mothers and infants. What, the infants that are about to be murdered? I thought they're just a clump of cells.
Yeah, baby breeders.
Hmm.
Let's see if I sentencing. Gosnell was charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder, reduced to 4 counts at trial, 1 count of third-degree murder, as well as infanticide, dismissed at trial. 5 accounts of abusing a corpse, all dismissed at trial. Fuck me, this dude got away with some shit, didn't he? Kermit's wife was charged with abortion at 24 or more weeks. Conspiracy and participating in a corrupt organisation. She pled guilty to charges. Pearl Gosnell was sentenced 7 to 23 months in prison. Eileen O'Neill was convicted of conspiracy charges. Stephen Massoff pled guilty, 2 counts of third-degree murder. Sentenced at 6 to 12. Karima Cross testified at the trial. So she didn't get anything. Adrienne Motton pled guilty to 3 third-degree murder, admitting to cutting the neck of 10 babies and racketeering charges. She was sentenced to 11.5 to 23 months. So it appears if you're a woman, it's in months, and if you're a man, it's in years. I've got hiccups now. Linda Williams was convicted of 2 counts of third-degree murder and sentenced to 5 to 10 years. Oh,
I like this. The agency's head lawyer, Chief Counsel Christine Dutton, has offended the department's indifference. People die, she said.
Well, she's not wrong.
They certainly do.
Yeah,
And a lot of them seem to die at your feet.
yeah. Having admitted to it, so Sherry West admitted to giving the overdose that killed Karamaya Monga. She was sentenced to 5 to 10 years in prison. Madeline Joe, Philadelphia clinic's office manager, pled guilty to conspiracy. Elizabeth Hampton, Gosnell's sister-in-law, admitted perjury, got 1 year. Tina Baldwin pled guilty to racketeering, conspiracy and corruption of a minor, sentenced to 30 months probation. 13th of May 2013, the jury were deadlocked on 2 counts. Returning to deliberations, the jury convicted Gosnell of 3 counts of murder, one count in involuntary manslaughter, and 200 lesser counts, including infanticide and racketeering. He was found not guilty of one of the counts of murder. The murder charges Gosnell was convicted of concerned babies referred to baby.
Here's something that I find surprising, right?
Yeah.
It's saying here, impersonating a physician is also a serious and potentially very dangerous act. Yet under current law, it is not a crime at all.
Weird. Yeah, but
It's not against the law to
in
pretend
England,
to be a doctor.
it isn't pretending to be a priest an offence.
Oh yeah, but in England, you can't practice medicine without license. You have to be. We're a bit more. I think after Harold Shipman, probably a bit more stringent about these sorts of things.
May 14th, 2013, Gosnell struck a deal with prosecutors in which he agreed to waive all his appeal rights regarding his conviction on the day earlier. In exchange, prosecutors allowed Gosnell to be sentenced to life in prison without parole. The following day, Gosnell was sentenced to 3 life terms. 2013, he was convicted of illegally distributing painkillers. Gosnell was sentenced to 30 years imprisonment for all the crimes. I assume that's all the crimes.
There's a lot of crimes there.
Yeah. There was loads more people that tried to sue, but he had no money. Remains of 47
Really?
fetuses were buried at Laurel Hill Cemetery with no headstone.
Nice. Really, really nice.
Gosnell also practiced in other states, including Delaware. In January 2011, Delaware Attorney General Beau Biden promised a wide-ranging investigation into the abortions Gosnell performed in Delaware, saying, "I'm disturbed by the allegations that were handed up by the grand jury in Philadelphia." Did you know there's a National Abortion Federation, Hobbit?
Not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not surprised.
Nikki Supporter, president of the National Abortion Federation, defended the organisation's failure to report by noting that although Gosnell had been rejected for membership following inspection because his clinics did not meet appropriate standards of care, they'd cleaned the place up and hired an RN for our visit.
Registered nurse?
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's that with Kermit Gosnell. I'm kind of done. You got any more you want to talk
about? No. Sorry. I think I'm all Gosnelled out.
Yeah, a bit
Can we do some unexplained histories and call it a day?
If you want.
I do want, actually, yeah. Let's just do a little bit of unexplained histories. Bonkers experiment proves that sloths actually do break wind.
Oh, no.
How about that?
Did they actually prove that they do break wind?
I'm hoping the guy that did shark science has moved on to richer pastures. For years, it was believed that sloths were unable to fart, but now this peculiar claim has finally been debunked. The shark science guy is just there with his nose up against their bums. If you've ever wondered what scientists get up to in their spare time, here's one particularly bizarre bit of research seems primed for inclusion in the next Ig Nobel Prize awards. For reasons only known to themselves, zoologist Lucy Cook and wildlife veterinarian Andreas Sainsberg took time to capture the first ever known footage of a sloth breaking wind. This clip proves once and for all these owls really do fart. No room for scientific interpretation here, just good old-fashioned bum gas, said Cook. Lucy, I'm rescinding your degree in zoology now.
Yeah.
For saying bum gas.
Yeah,
So yes, sloths do fart, and I may have just witnessed the first documented case. There certainly stands to reason that this be the case. Sloths eat a load of plant matter, which is particularly well known for breaking down and producing gas during digestion. The reason it was thought they don't break wind is because scientists thought that unusual evolutionary quirk could enable them to reabsorb the methane rather than expelling it. They're so gassy, they even use their stomach gas to float when in water. Bravatigan told Life Science. If you work with sloths, you live with their gas everywhere in X-rays, interfering with ultrasounds, it can actually be a huge concern. In this way, gas and the pressure associated with it can be a huge issue. Oh, and this is from Lucy Cook. She's talking about some stuff. So anyway, sloths do in fact fart.
excellent.
I am. You know what? Tonight's episode was worth it just for that.
Now we know.
Oh, I don't know how they've done this, but scientists have gone back nearly 1 million years in the past. Do you want to hear about this story?
I bet they did it with photons, didn't they?
Magnets. How the fuck do they work?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mentioned that right because haunting video reveals the eerie sound of the magnetic poles flipping. Magnetic poles. How do they work? Researchers have sonified the sounds of Earth's magnetic field reversing 780,000 years ago. The complete reversal of the Earth's magnetic field might seem like a cataclysmic event, but is in fact a perfectly normal occurrence. They're getting us ready for it, you see.
Yeah.
Having happened multiple times over the eons. The last time the field flipped completely, an event known as a Matsuyama-Brunnes reversal, was 780,000 years ago. I'm good at when it comes to reading hundreds of thousands. Meaning that another may occur at some point in the not-too-distant future. Now, in a bid to better understand this event, scientists have put together a sonified version of the magnetic field flipping by converting ancient magnetic data into audible sound. To begin with, geophysicists, so what they've done is they've just looked at the strata on the abyssal plane, and then they've gone, what if we put that through our, visual to sound device? So in other words, a technique Aphex Twin was doing back in the 90s, where he'd take his face and then turn that into a soundgram. They're now doing, but to the abyssal plane stuff. To begin with, geophysicists, by the way, there's people on YouTube. If you want to see Aphex Twin's face in his music, do Aphex Twin visualizer his face, and you'll see it there. To begin with, geophysicists Sanja Panowska and Ahmed Nasser Magoob from the Hanya-Hobbs Center for Geosciences created a model of the Earth's magnetic field as it was flipping using data obtained from drill core samples around the world. This was then visualized, and turned into audio by Klaus Nielsen and Maximilian Artus Scanner. His name's actually Scanner. The resulting audio is haunting, to say the least, an eerie cacophony of music that provides a way to perceive the changes taking place during such an event in the form of audible sound. You can check the clip out for yourself below. I mean, it's 1 minute and 53 seconds long. Do you want to listen to a bit of it?
I can do.
Yeah. Oh, it's wank.
Is it?
Yeah, I tell you what, Aphex Twin's a lot better than that wank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of pole shifting, I'll just read out the headline because I can't be bothered to read the rest of it. Human-made dams have shifted the position of the Earth's poles.
Of course they have.
Yeah. Another headline here, which I'm just going to read. Mystery still surrounds the Air India crash. Who or what was to blame?
Is it
Well, the pilot
puncture
did
in the
not.
jet engine?
Wow, the pilot did not redeem.
Yeah.
It was weird. I reckon it was suicide, and
Mm.
I reckon he was saying a mum shabai when he was doing it. He was bringing them all to Vishnu, the demon of diarrhea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right, we've done now.
Oh, I would say we don't. Look, guys, we'll give you more other times. We gave you more yes last week, but I don't want to do any more now because look, I know YouTube says it's just a clump of cells and who cares, deaths happen. But now this might be a bit controversial. I think murdering babies is wrong.
Ooh, we're going to end that on a controversial note. Stay
Yeah,
spooky.
yeah.
Right. See you later, Robert. Bye.